There is a really cool Taylor Swift chart achievement for you. Taylor Swift is now the first and only artist in history to debut a song and album at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the Billboard 200, which is the album chart.
Did you know that Taylor Swift has been number 1 for 6 weeks in 3 countries? Taylor Swift just broke records that even legends haven't touched. And if you thought Taylor was slowing down, you are not ready for this.
The end of an era Easter eggs were so loud for this docuseries. This video being from Taylor Nation that they posted on December 12th of 2024, last year after the Eras tour. And if you look at the caption, it says it was the end of an era.
This is a Taylor Swift news alert you don't want to miss. Check out everything that happened recently in this video.
There is a really cool Taylor Swift chart achievement for you. Taylor Swift is now the first and only artist in history to debut a song and album at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the Billboard 200, which is the album chart, simultaneously, and have both of them stay number 1 for 6 weeks. You heard that correctly. Not only did The Life of a Showgirl and The Fate of Ophelia debut at number 1 on the American charts, they have not budged from number 1 since. Additionally, this week, The Life of a Showgirl becomes the fastest album to sell 5 million copies in the United States in the 2020s, and it did so in just 6 weeks. The Torture Post Department took 13, and number 3 was Midnight's with 38. We already have the first chart predictions for next week, and The Life of a Showgirl is expected to remain number 1 for a 7th week. To give that a little context, these are all the female albums in history that have spent 7 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 200. 18 albums, counting The Life of a Showgirl. You will also notice that a massive chunk of these are Taylor Swift albums. 6 out of 18, in fact. But the numbers get even crazier when you reduce it to female albums that spent at least 7 weeks at number 1, with a single that spent at least 7 weeks at number 1, which The Fate of Ophelia is also predicted to do next week. That is just 7 albums counting The Life of a Showgirl. Whitney, Janet, Mariah, Adele twice, and Taylor twice. I also think people need to be reminded that this is Taylor's 12th studio album 20 years into her career. She should be sunsetting right now. Like, no one has ever dominated this hard, this deep into their career. I did some digging, and as far as I know, only one 12th studio album ever went number 1 on the Billboard 200. It was Madonna, and it spent 1 week there, which was an enormous accomplishment. This will be the 7th week that The Life of a Showgirl spins at number 1. And just because I know people need context to understand what a big deal this is a list of some of Taylor Swift's peers and how many total weeks they have spent at number 1 on the Billboard 200. I pulled these numbers last year, so one of these may be 1 or 2 weeks higher, but The Life of a Showgirl would already clock in right here by itself. Taylor is the solo artist by far and away with the most weeks at number 1, by the way. This is the all-time list. You will notice that it is dominated by legacy artists because it is actually a lot harder to do this nowadays. But I used to think that Taylor would be really lucky to pass Elvis. That only happened in 2023, by the way. And I never in my wildest dreams.mp3 thought that she might pass the Beatles, but at this point, I literally think anything is possible.
Taylor Swift cannot keep this up. Or can she? Because you have no idea what Taylor just pulled off. Did you know that Taylor Swift has been number 1 for 6 weeks in 3 countries? Taylor Swift just broke records that even legends haven't touched. And if you thought Taylor was slowing down, you are not ready for this. Because Taylor Swift just casually had one of the biggest weeks in music history. And she announced something that fans have been begging for. Here are 12 huge Taylor Swift wins this week that you probably missed. And make sure you watch till the end of this video because I have an amazing Taylor Swift trivia question I bet you can't answer. Let's begin down under, where Taylor Swift reigns atop Australia's Ariah chart for a 6th week in a row. The Fate of Ophelia and The Life of a Showgirl both stay in the top spot on the UK album and singles chart. Stateside, The Life of a Showgirl spends a 6th week atop the Billboard 200 albums chart with over 110,000 units earned. And in doing so, extends Taylor's own record of the most weeks spent at number 1 on the albums chart with 92 weeks. That is damn near 2 full calendar years. Speaking of extending records, Taylor extends her own record with her 14th number 1 US pop airplay hit. The Fate of Ophelia returned to the number 1 spot on Apple Music, and this week marked the 5-year anniversary of Taylor first announcing her intention to re-record her classic albums after the infamous Masters dispute. And in the half-decade since, she's released her own versions of Speak Now, Red, 1989, and Fearless. Of course, eventually buying back her masters earlier this year. This week saw Billboard name Taylor the number 1 female songwriter of the 21st century. The Fate of Ophelia spent its 42nd day at number 1 on Spotify's global chart with 7.6 million daily streams, making it the most streamed song in the world. Plus, with over 40 days at number 1 on that chart, it becomes Taylor's most successful, longest running number 1 on Spotify in history. And we ain't done yet. You Belong With Me, Taylor's version, just crossed 1 billion streams officially on Spotify this week, marking her 22nd song to do this. And last but not least, the trailer drop. Taylor's new Eras Tour docuseries drops in December, and fans were treated to a 2.5-minute trailer preview of what they can expect. All right, now for that trivia question. In July 2023, Taylor Swift made history by being the first woman and only the 2nd living artist in the history of music to ever have 4 albums simultaneously in the Billboard 200 top 10. Name all 4 albums. Good luck. Drop your guesses in the comments. And if you dug this video, I would so appreciate if you could drop it a like. And for more Taylor videos, follow for more.
The end of an era Easter eggs were so loud for this docuseries. When she announced the title of the docuseries and the final show coming on Disney+, Swifties collectively lost their minds because she used the end of an era in the final mashup.
It was the end of an era. The start of an age.
The grand finale of the Eras Tour in Vancouver, where she sang the triple mashup of Long Live, New Year's Day, and the Manuscript. This video being from Taylor Nation that they posted on December 12th of 2024, last year after the Eras Tour. And if you look at the caption, it says it was the end of an era. And the end of an era docuseries comes out on December 12th, a year later. After the Eras Tour ended, Taylor had a surprise party thrown for her to celebrate the Eras Tour called End of an Era. The entire party was themed, of course, and Travis even dressed up like he did when he went on stage in London. The beauty is in the fine detail, because even during the rollout of The Life of a Showgirl, when Taylor had the Google puzzles, she had this clip that said the end with the surprise song piano and guitar. I have so many questions that I hope will be answered in this docuseries, because I need to know when the end of an era title came to her. Did she have it planned the whole entire tour, or only when she decided to do the triple mashup? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Well, it looks like today is going to be a very busy day, but a great day. And of course, we'll probably have a Taylor Swift drop today, with Travis and Jason giving us a little duet of Here I Go Again by Whitesnake. His facial expressions are hilarious. But yesterday they were giving us a little teaser on who the special guest will be on Monday. And many of you already guessed it, Carissa Thompson and Erin Andrews. I know that's going to be a great special guest episode. Also, Erin Andrews was on the Not Gonna Lie with Kylie Kelsey podcast. During the segment New News, they announced that the Taylor Swift episode was one of the top episodes on Apple Music in 2025. At the end of the episode, after the credits, you may have missed.
I got that a little sublime. Yeah. Dude, I felt like I was at like a basketball game. It felt like you're coming out and all of a sudden you're like, am I playing for the Bears? Steve Perry. God damn, I gotta watch that movie again. See if Taylor likes that movie. She'll just see me laughing at everything and have a good time.
Oh, this is what he likes.
Let me know, have you ever watched the movie Basketball? Are you super excited that Chris and Erin are the special guests for next week?
Okay, where the hell is the snow globe? Another sale drop today. No snow globe, no cardigans, no pretty and witty cosmetic bag, none of those other items we know are incoming. This one is more of a cozy collection. This is like a Christmas morning collection. The PJs, the onesies, what you wear opening presents. All of these items feature different Taylors from the Eras Tour. I got the mug because obviously I did. And it looks like the 1989 combo they chose to use on this print is the Chiefs combo. I think the friendship bracelet garland is going to be one of the higher coveted pieces. It's only Wednesday, so there could potentially be 2 days or even more of holiday sales. Plenty of time for some of these items that we know exist to be filled on the website. But as a middle of the week drop, this one honestly was perfect for me. Cute, cozy, nothing super coveted like a cardigan or a snow globe. This drop felt a little bit more relaxed than the other ones so far. But I hope y'all know better than to get comfortable, because we know more things are incoming, so follow along for all the updates. And please, as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you grab anything from this drop? What did you think of it?
Once again, brand new Taylor Swift news arrived today, and we have to talk about it. Like The Life of a Showgirl, holding down the #1 spot on the billboard for 6 weeks in a row, making history once again for Taylor. Or the latest merch drop that happened earlier today, which is completely Eras Tour coded. Last but not least, some Tay praise from Trav and Jason on New Heights. Speaking of the Eras Tour, if you missed it as much as I do, check out some of its unforgettable Eras moments, and I mean bloopers, in the next video.